let's talk about that last DCS call, Dawn. You want to? Let's talk about it. How about your boy that went to school and told him all kinds of pretty neat shit about Daddy? Because he was fed up with your shit and what you were doing to them. Candace. And oopsied everybody into a DCS case right before summer finished.
Damn, killer. It's so good.
So as far as CPS, we're going to have some bombshells supposedly about that. The two younger brothers are together and the oldest one's in a separate. They're in foster families. And they're never getting them back. And that if we are ever find out why they were removed specifically, we will be shocked. It's way worse than you can ever imagine, according to this source. Also, more info that has not been out there. He had criminal charges that he had under an alias. They were found and merged into his record by use of his fingerprints. How that happened, I don't know. I mean, there must have been old charges, because you can't get away with that these days anymore. I mean, because you always get when you get processed in, they take your fingerprints. So, and that's instant. They know. I mean, so it must have been old records. The children were removed under the parental child safety placement. That means you are not trustworthy to have minors around you. It is one of the worst levels in the removal status. We will see movement in the case next week from a source told me down there, and I'll just say Hawkins County. They have been under investigation for a while, and Candace was avoiding them because of the drug test. And the rumor regarding the kids that were scheduled to be removed on the day Summer went missing are false. She avoided them because she wanted to continue using drugs. By the way, when the kids were placed, the boys, there was nobody in the family that would take them. So, because there's not very many foster families in that area of Tennessee, and they tried to place them with part of their family, and nobody would take them. And I don't know. I mean, I imagine they're probably not the easiest kids to deal with because of the family they grew up in. But yeah. This lady so bad wants people to know this information, but she doesn't know how without getting herself wrapped up into some situations. She spent a lot of time, and money and education to be able to get to where she is, and it's eating at her. She wants to be able to talk to people with it and get her off her chest. And I'm sure she can with people in her field or whatever. But, I don't know to what extent. And you're just going to have to take me for my word. That's all I can say. There's just no more proof that I can give than beyond that. And I just got very lucky. She claims I'm the only person that she has mentioned anything to. it took some time for her to open up, but she was, she did. It took a little while for her to tell me just about the drug screens, which, I've seen other channels mention they had crack cocaine in their system, and that, but I didn't hear the meth thing with Dawn. And, I think a lot of us assume that Dawn and Candace didn't really pass I think they're taking their inconclusive tests as a pass. I mean, because, hey, it's not a fail. I mean, it's better. But they were inconclusive on the guilty knowledge part of the test, if for those of you that did know. And, okay, so let's get started. I'm not going to look at chat. Actually, I'm going to move it away from the screen. Yeah, it's like, oh my God, it made me so sick to my stomach. Because I was like, I didn't know. I don't ever want to get anybody in any trouble. Okay. First of all, for anybody who was curious, I just messaged her because I wanted to know. I know I've been asked a few times, and I've heard people wondering how old the boys are. So she says the boys are 12, 11, and 9. They have proof that there was a sexual relationship between Hunter and Candace. And that they were removed because they were in imminent danger under priority 1. There's 7 abuse claims in 1 year. There was years of child abuse. Dawn's lying about, the boys getting removed because of, people, because of this stuff with Summer and people, it's not because of internet drama or people coming to the property. It doesn't have anything to do with that. It's abuse. The boys were emotionally and psychologically harmed with words, threats, and yelling up to several times a day. They were exposed to drug use. All 3 boys were physically abused by Dawn and Candace. They were kicked, punched, hair pulled, beaten with objects such as belts, shoes, and other items. The boys had body lice, all 3 of them. So actually, that's probably what she meant when she put body lice times 4, because I was thinking 4. But then she later says that Candace had body lice too, so that makes sense. So I was thinking, well, maybe they found out that Summer had body. No, I think she meant the 3 boys and Candace had body lice, and then she also said that. She didn't tell me how many had scabies, but I know for a fact that at least 1 had scabies. She didn't give me a number on that. They were left alone for 6 hours at a time. So that bullshit about Candace trying to act like she's Mother of the Year, watching Summer walk into the door and checking on her a couple minutes later. Not true. They had educational neglect. They were missing over the allotted amount of time. You get so many days a semester. It varies between schools, but like my daughter's school, it's like you can miss up to 10 days per semester. And they were missing way over what they were allowed, and they weren't getting their assignments done. All the boys have special needs that weren't being met. They weren't getting any doctor's care for the lice or scabies or dental care. They weren't getting the minimum amount of 3 meals a day. And then the environmental neglect was what we all saw. As far as there was not adequate beds, meaning there was not clean bedding, and the mattresses were, I guess, disgusting and soiled. So then the boys are 12, 11, and 9 for those. So yeah. I can't wait till it comes out, proof that comes out that, you know, where we could all physically see for ourselves that, like everybody, like, well, I won't say everybody because we all have differing opinions, but many of us believe that there was something weird going on with Candace and Hunter. Not that I believe that Hunter really thinks. I think that Candace groomed him. That's what I told this person. I just said, you know, she obviously had an obsession with him. You know, she said that she was that is also in the report of her harassing Hunter's girlfriend, an underage girl, because she's a jealous freak weirdo. She goes, this goes so deep, and then mentions Dawn is only in the church due to community service, and that Dawn was creeping around and are involved with teenage girls, but there's not enough evidence with that for law enforcement to do anything about right now. And the boys have been talking to something she called a CASA volunteer. I don't know if you guys have heard that. CASA, like casa, meaning house in Spanish, volunteer, which is she says they have connected a strong bond with her and have opened up to her and begun to trust her. They were terrified to speak about anything they had been exposed to for a while, but somehow she's been able to get them to open up. Still, they don't know what happened to Summer, supposedly, but yeah, that's about it. There are other charges that are coming concerning the boys. So we will see charges on this. It just hasn't happened yet because they're still working on their case. And then she mentions Don's alias from Texas, John Wesley Miller. I guess he had an alias back in the day. He called himself John. So instead of saying Don, it was John or Johnny.
Dawn and Candace Wells' youngest child, Summer Wells, has been the subject of a statewide Amber Alert since June 15th of 2021. A little over a month after she was reported missing from her home in the Beach Creek community, Summer's 3 older brothers were placed into DCS custody.
We really want our boys back home. If Summer was to be found today, we wouldn't be able to see her or talk to her. And we can't talk to our boys.
Were they in touch with Candace while you were in jail?
Yes. Yeah.
But did something change when you got out of jail?
The only thing that changed is suddenly we weren't allowed to contact them at all. She was definitely going to be tall. She'd probably be as tall as me, I'd say, because she was growing so fast. And I'm sure she would be the same person. And she didn't have no qualms about taking on her brothers.
In a recent blog post on the family's website, findsummerwells.com, the Wells claim they have not been in contact with their children in protective custody. The post, in part, says, quote, "They tell us we can no longer see or call our boys. Our assigned lawyer does not return calls. The regional DCS person did not respond to our email. Yet there are no charges against us. Nothing," end quote. This comes almost 3 months after Dawn Wells was released from jail after pleading guilty to a DUI in October of 2021. The couple says they have kept up to date with recent issues with the department, including a scathing recent audit.
They're doing nothing to help us. In fact, they're making us jump through all kinds of hoops, which is almost impossible to jump through all of them and hold a job and do all these things. They're making it real tough on us.
Wells told us he has been in touch with investigators over Summer's case.
There's not one shred of evidence. There's nothing. As much as they've looked, as much as the work that they've done, they haven't been able to come up with anything at all.
If these YouTubers have the right to destroy our lives under the Freedom of Speech Act, then I have the right.
Well, as
To
long as
talk
you're
about
not
my
saying.
own son, bitch, and sons, my own kids. They want to tell me I have no rights and not to say nothing and this and that. That's because they don't want me to expose them for the assholes they are. Our fucking welfare system's screwed up badly. We love our kids and we've done everything for them that we possibly could. I never asked for assistance from them, sorry son bitch, and welfare or nothing. The whole time we had our kids. I never got food stamps, I never got insurance, nothing from them ever. But when summer come up missing, they made sure, damn sure, they come up there and took my boys. They kidnapped my boys.
Hey, have you
I
prayed
have freedom
about
of speech. They can't tell me I can't say whatever the hell I want, because I'm speaking my mind. Just like all these freaking sorry son bitch and YouTubers do. I have the right. That's one thing I've learned through all this bullshit.
Yeah. It hurts. I can tell you're hurt that your children is not in with you. I can tell that your heart's broken. I totally understand.
The system's so corrupt, especially the welfare system. They're so corrupted, it ain't even funny. They're more corrupted than the goddamn YouTubers. They're more corrupted than... Never mind, I'm not going to go there again. Never mind. Sorry.
I tell you what.
That's my opinion, and I have the right to say it under the Freedom of Speech Act. Thank you.
You absolutely do. You do definitely need some counseling when it comes to attorney.
Counseling? They've given me the biggest counseling I've ever had in my life.
I'm talking about attorney, like attorney.
Oh yes, sorry. Yeah, you're right. Yes. Yeah, I need a good liar. Absolutely right.
Did you just say liar?
Yes, ma'am.
And it's like a domino effect. Because once that comes to light, more questions start to pop up. Well, if she's able to do this, what about this?
Absolutely.
And what about that? More questions start to come from that one incident right there.
Yes.
And it makes you wonder, if they say it's only one time, and I'm telling you from my thought perspective, if it only happened one time, I believe it happened more than once. I believe it was something hidden very well between everyone. Between them two, they kept it under wraps.
Could you mention something about the step sibling as well?
Yes. I remember another time we were at the kitchen table and they were talking about the time that Allie's daughter was there, and I believe it was Candace's stepson or son. They were having sex downstairs, and the kids were watching it through a hole in the wall. It was, I'm looking at them like, what the hell? Like, what's going on here? What's really going on in this house? Because that's really a dirty secret, like real dirty.
Yes.
Like the kids actually saw this and you just laugh about it while you're drinking. That's not cool. And the boys, if their mental health is starting to get any back on track and back focused, a therapist can ask them about that and they'll admit it. They will tell me.
Oh, I mean,
because I remember because the boys had told me, Wyatt and Will, they had told me, we were looking through the hole in the wall. And I'm like, what hole in the wall? And they actually walked me and they showed me the hole in the wall. We were seeing them through here, and they were describing, I'm not even going to say it on air, but they were describing what they were doing. And for children that young to describe that graphically, there's only one way you're going to describe it like that, is if you've seen it with your own eyes.
That's right. You're exactly right.
Mm-hmm.
Kids are, they're a lot smarter than
speaking truth.
Scooby fucking doo.
if not for those pesky meddling kids.
Back to what I do. Catfish, Billy, baby, hello, how are you? You're by 9 rappers like a power line, fell into a swimming pool. I think I got the whole crew. Ooh, let me know what y'all wanna do. I bought a 30 pack of Creek water, baby boo. Not a 99, not a 99.99, not mine. I got 100 proof.
They're gonna be sorry they were ever born. Who? All of them.
Show me the chicken, I'm frying it. Show me the dough and I'm prying it. Ain't never lacking it, so what I'm packing, he taking it, he magnifying it.
They say you ain't bout it. Tell them that you finna make it, but they doubt it.
But God did it.
But you rose like a flower. Tell me what it's like to live with superpowers.
I don't know, but I'ma get it. I'ma get it. I'ma get it. I'ma get it. I just know that I'ma get it. 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 Ayy. I got to drive, the bus, the truck, the gas is stuck. I ain't the one to rely on the luck. I put in work and then he show up. I know it's fake to sit in the reps, ain't no regrets, I do too much. It ain't me if you saying I stunt. He calling the place and I do what he want. This ain't a front, glory to G-O-D. It's what you could do with a mustard seed. It's what you could do when you start to believe. Take fear and you cast it inside of the sea. 100% out of me, cause he gave it all on the tee when he let it bleed. So what is you saying to me? You just insecure about the love that turned me to a beast. I take a step and I ain't turning back. He made me first cause I know that I'm last. I ain't got time for no thing in the past. Learn from it first and then I react. Hands off me, don't hold me. Get it jumping like a trampoline.